Good morning, everybody. Hello, hello. It's Jennifer Cotton. Today is Thursday, February 18th, 2021. How is everybody doing? If you live near me, you're probably freezing. I'm in Texas, and you may or may not have water. You may or may not have electricity. There's so much going on in Texas right now and today and this week. But I hope everybody is staying safe and as warm as you can. Good morning, Cindy. Hello, everybody. My name is Jennifer Cotton. I'm a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in Midlothian, Texas. Hey, Jackie. Hey, Pam. Pam's in North Carolina. Hey, Shirley. She says, hope all is well with everyone, definitely. Hey, Sandy, good morning. Hey, Martha. Yay, good morning. Hey, Cindy. Awesome. I'm glad a lot of people can be here. Like I said, my name's Jennifer Cotton. I've been a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator for 19 years. And what that means is I teach people how to make greeting cards, scrapbook pages, gift packages, or gift packaging, home decor items, and more with stamps, ink, paper, and lots of other cool tools. Hey, Stacy, good morning. Hey, Marilyn in Georgia. Thank you guys for sharing also. Hey, Dana. You keep safe and warm also. Everybody keep safe and warm. My goodness. Linda. Finally have power and water. Thank goodness for fabulous hobby to occupy our minds. Exactly. Someone in my group posted today, in my team group, so many cute things to copy, but the craft room is too cold, which definitely can be the case as well right now. So, but I'm glad whoever can be here. Thank you. And if you're watching replay, hopefully I can provide some entertainment for today or later with some cute, I think they're cute cards. We're going to use Darling Donkeys. So cute. And I'm actually using a bunch of other stamps with these as well. Hey, Rhonda. Thanks for sharing, Sandy, and everyone else. Good morning. Good morning. Hey, Diana in North Carolina. Good morning. So anyway, Darling Donkeys is the main focus today, but you'll see when I make the cards, I combine them with a lot of other stamps. Thank you guys for sharing and saying hi and liking the video. All of those things help me in my business, so I appreciate it. And when you do that, you'll be entered to win the 3 cards I'm going to make today. But definitely comment that you shared, because Facebook doesn't tell me who all shares. And who said, I read a comment. Oh, Sandy is nice and warm in North Dakota. That's awesome. Jen, yes, I'm staying warm. I hope you are too. Hey, Pam, good morning. I hope seeing all my friends here means that you guys do have electricity. But it is crazy in Texas right now. It's just all the things that are going down. Anyway, but thank goodness in like 2 days we'll be back to, yay Pam, the 40s and then 60s next week. But that doesn't help today. Okay, so even if you're watching replay, I meant to say that, you can still say hi and comment and share and all that stuff, and you'll still be entered to win the cards. So every month, if you'd like to order anything, I'm going to show you lots of cool stuff today. There's an online ordering special. You'll get a free class packet to make 4 cards using the, this month, Hydrangea Haven bundle. So we'll cut the paper, die cut, punch, emboss. All you have to do is stamp and assemble with the PDF tutorial. That's free with a $25 online order. And if your online order is 50 or more, and it's with a host code, which is a thing you enter at checkout, then you also get a free full accessory. And if your order is 150 or more, don't enter the host code. You still get the 2 gifts from me plus $15 minimum free from Stampin' Up. And of course, right now you get a free gift with every $50 and $100 purchase. from our celebration brochure. Darling Donkeys is one of those items. There are multiple stamp sets to choose from that you can get free with purchase. And I don't even know 100% that I have all of them here. And then multiple designer papers as well that are all free with purchase. And the only way to get those is free. And they're not coming back. So that all ends February 28th. We only have like 10 days or so. Yeah, 10 days because today's the 18th. Hey, April. Good morning. Hey, Pat. Hey, Oma. I'm glad to see everybody. Linda Harrell, power but no water. Ugh, that's actually my daughter has no water right now also. It's crazy. Anyway, where was I? Oh, so that's the online order special. If you guys have any questions, just let me know. If you have questions about anything I talk about, let me know. I have an email mailing list you can sign up for to get those notifications, as well as I can email you and let you know, or I mean, give you links and stuff. Pam says she's not home yet, but there is power. That's good. Liz got power back today. Hey, Stacy in Florida. Hopefully y'all aren't cold in Florida. But I mean, this is not normal for Texas either, so who knows. Okay, so my monthly classes, every month I do 4 classes: card class, scrapbook class, stamp a stack, and sampler. I'm trying to read comments, it's distracting me. Charlotte, yay, got water back. I didn't even know people around me were losing water, like in this immediate area. So Charlotte, because I think you live pretty close to me. Oh, thanks, Robin. Anyway, so I have those 4 classes. They are this weekend, which is they're probably going to be ready late. I've notified some people that are supposed to attend live because my order, of course, UPS can't deliver right now. So, but anyway, those 4 classes, it's too late to sign up for this month. We might have like an extra scrapbook and card class, but the other 2 are full. But just check with me. However, if you're taking those classes, be aware that the mailing might be delayed a day or 2, and the live pickup might be delayed a day or 2. And then if you're attending in person, I've already contacted you to let you know, yeah, we might not be ready by then because it was a lot of paper to order, and so we can't prep. And then Landa didn't have electricity for a very long time, nor can we get paper to each other. So it's a whole thing. Hey, Rhonda. Hey, Joni. Good morning. I'm glad to see so many people here. I was concerned with all the issues that, people may not even have internet, or they may have other things they're tending to, which of course is fine. So for next month's classes, I will give you all the like what stamp sets I'm using and all that stuff probably next week. I do want to give you a like save the date kind of thing. For the next Stamping Bingo online will be April 23rd. That's where we do a card class and then we play some games for prizes. So April 23rd, mark your calendars, and that will be with our new catalog that comes out in May. Yay! So all brand new product in that one. My I'm naming the wrong thing. My celebration farewell party is going to be on Facebook. It's in a special group called Jennifer's Celebration Farewell Party. That's the name of the group. I'll put a link to it in the description of this video. Anyone can join the group, and then you'll be able to participate and watch free videos, free stamping demonstrations. I've ordered lots of prizes that can be earned. They will be based on, oh yes, Linda, personal hotspots, love it. And the freezing emoji. Yeah, internet, I mean, that's another thing, that some people have had electricity but no internet, and vice versa. Like, so crazy. So in that event, you'll get to see several projects made. You will have a chance to earn a free class packet, a chance to win prizes, And of course, they'll be fun. So I hope everyone can join. It is a free event. It is Saturday, February 27th. And then everything will be recorded so you can go back into the group and watch it if you can't be there at the exact time of the live videos. However, celebration ends February 28th. So if you want to take advantage of any of those specials, you'll want to do it by the next day. Although I will extend my specials that I will be offering through a few days after that. But also you can just come on and watch, you know, for fun. So join that group, Jennifer's Celebration Farewell Party, and then be ready for February 27th. We're going to start at 10 a.m. Central Time. Again, it'll be recorded. So, okay, Retreat in a Box is coming. It's very exciting. April ordered bags. She always prints our bags. She puts your name on it, and it'll kind of match our theme. You see my bag right there that says Jennifer? That's from our last one. And the theme is the Sweet Ice Cream Bundle. So we'll be using this stamp set. You'll stamp at home. Yes, Pat. Everybody's trying to work from home too. And then when you don't have internet, power especially, but even internet, it makes that a little difficult. This is the paper that matches the sweet ice cream. There's the matching punch. So all the projects with our Retreat in a Box will be with those products plus others. You will use your own stamp set at home to complete your projects with a PDF tutorial, and you're going to get over $50 in merchandise with your fee. Of course, it includes shipping, but there is a different price if you want to pick it up from me. You're going to get gifts pre-made, wrapped up, ready for you to receive. You're going to get at least 10 make and takes, including a sampler, including scrapbook pages and cards. And then sometimes we do like little gift boxes and stuff. Liz, the punch is back ordered, but it will be back way before my event. So I'm not concerned about that at all. But the punch only is back ordered. It might be not orderable, but it's going to be back in stock before our event. So the dates are, you sign up and pay by March 14th, and the kit is mailed approximately April 2nd. And when you register, you can add on that bundle if you would like to. If you already have it or you're a demonstrator, order it through yourself. Just like all of our events, everything's cut, punched, die cut, ready for you to stamp and assemble. We just don't cut your specialty paper because you usually get like a full pack or half a pack, and you cut that up yourself with the instructions, but everything else is cut for you, packaged in order, very carefully packaged, so it's very easy for you to understand. And then we offer 2 optional classes. So really, when you click the link, Retreat in a Box, I want to register, you don't even have to take the Retreat in a Box. You can take only one class. You can take a class in the retreat. You can take the retreat and the other class, or you can take both classes and no retreat. You just put a number 1 next to each item you would like to register for. So hopefully that makes sense. The classes are, I'm doing the Prettiest Birthday, that's the name of the bundle, Stamp-A-Stack. So for this one, it's $45. You get $35 in merchandise, and you are going to make 20 cards. And this is on page 51. My bundle is on its way in orders that UPS cannot deliver because they can't drive here. So I'm just showing you in the catalog, but it's super cute, and they won't, I mean, they'll kind of be birthday, but also like congratulations and just celebrate you. So not only birthday, I guess celebrations is a good word for it. And then April's class is the Butterfly Brilliance class. You're going to make 2 quick and easy mini albums, 2 cards, and 2 mini paper pumpkin boxes, which are adorable. And let me show you Butterfly Brilliance real quick. This is the one that is not available to the public yet. It'll come out in March. However, if you're a demonstrator, you can order it now. So you can also order it now with our starter kit, or in your starter kit. And there's some gorgeous paper. And here's the stamp. on my clear block. So pretty. And there's another specialty paper she'll be using as well, I believe, in the class. And oh, it's not showing both sides, is it? Okay, we'll show one side. And what I like about this paper, which is going to be while supplies last, by the way, is you get more than 2 or 4 sheets of each design. I think it's 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, it's 8. 8 sheets of each design I just showed you. And there is a big design that's the same as this on the paper that can be die cut out with those dies. So that's April's class. I can give you the link to sign up for any of those that you would like. Don't forget, deadline, sign up by March 14th. Kits will be ready by April 2nd at the latest. And both classes are the same price, $45. They include $35 in merchandise. Another save the date for you, more info will be coming, is my new Catalog Kickoff. It's going to be virtual. It's going to be very similar to the online celebration I just did, which I must say was a big hit. I believe everyone who attended loved it. What we did basically was you were mailed a packet by my deadline. And then, so I believe everyone received their packet in time. And then on a Saturday, which this one's going to be on a Friday though, anyway, it's probably going to be on a Friday, maybe Saturday. It depends on if my trip happens in May. So I made every single card from beginning to end. Thank you, Jen. She said it was a blast. And so it was several hours. It was from, I think we started at 10 a.m. and we ended about 4. We had a break in between. We also had 2 stamping demonstrations. They had chances to win tons of prizes. All those prizes have been, the drawings have been done and they're ready to be mailed. But the part everyone enjoyed was we did a Zoom stamping session. So I gave tips. I've demonstrated every card from beginning to end. Now, if that's not your thing, just watch the video or use the PDF instructions instead. But it was, you know, a chance for us to gather, but virtually, and they could pop in and ask questions. And so I think it worked out really well. So that's what we're doing. And the date is May 14th. That's a Friday. During the daytime, and it will be recorded if you can't be on during that time on Friday, May 14th. It'll be on Zoom, but also streamed on a Facebook group. So lots of options there. And of course you can watch the recording. Now I can, if my trip doesn't happen, I can move that to Saturday. So we'll see. And then don't forget, you can earn a free event from me by February 28th based on your purchases and classes you take from me through the end of February. I call it Celebration, and it's to thank my customers for supporting me during Stampin' Up's biggest sale of the year, Celebration, which again, I want to stress ends February 28th because it usually ends in March. Not true this year. We will have a second celebration in July and August, I believe, with totally different products. So yay, more is coming. But for now, this one is ending at the end of February. And again, all those products are not coming back. They won't be back in second celebration either. So you can sign up. You can earn this free event that happens on March 13th on Zoom. You still get the gifts if you can't attend Zoom. You're going to get a gift, 4 stamping projects, chances to win prizes. Now, how do you earn it? If your orders that you've placed either through my online store, Susan's lurking and has to lower the volume. I do that all the time when I watch stuff, and because I'm trying to concentrate on something, so I'll just have the video on. Or even sometimes weirdly in bed when I'll watch videos, I just watch them silent. I don't know why. There's no reason I have to. But hello everybody. Thank you for joining. Don't forget to say hi so you can be entered to win the 3 cards I'm going to make today, even if you're watching replay. Okay, so this free event, 3 ways to earn. If you placed orders of 150 or more, if they add up over the 2 months, and that's if you go to my store or if you directly, like, say, place this order for me. If you host an online party of 150 or more, contact me for details on how to do that. We still have time. You be the host. You would get the free stuff based on your party sales, and we would do it online. Or if you take 5 qualifying classes from me during celebration, and those are Stamp-A-Stack, Sampler, and you can be in the clubs, those count. Valentine Bingo February 25th, online celebration February 13th, and paper party share with the party. So all of those deadlines have passed to sign up, but you know if you took them. So you can, I'm going to figure it out. I haven't done it yet, but you can also add yourself up and feel free to notify me, hey, I qualified, so that I can make sure I don't miss you. Okay, Stampin' Up! Specials. I showed you that butterfly bouquet stuff. Remember, you can get it early. There's no obligation if you get our starter kit, so you can get that early. Now, in our starter kit, hey, Carrie, I am keeping warm. Thank you very much. Hope you are too. Veronica's been off all week because of snow days, so she's getting to watch live. Awesome. I mean, not awesome, but awesome. Okay. Also, coming up with Stampin' Up, our retiring list. So this annual catalog is retiring a month sooner than normal. We're going on a new calendar from now on until they change it. It will be May until April next year. New catalog comes out in May of this year, and then it'll go till April of the following year, and that'll be our new calendar schedule. But this is all new to all of us, customers, demonstrators, everybody. Yes, Carrie. It's 25 degrees here, by the way, right now in Midlothian. I forget, are you in I remember where you are, Carrie. I'm not going to say your city in case you don't. That's said on Facebook. So it's the big one. If you're new to Stampin' Up, when the retiring list comes out, there are hundreds of items from this book that go away, that will never be sold again. Tons of stamp sets. There's no way for us to guess. I mean, we can guess, but it's very unpredictable. Tons of stamp sets. We know for sure the retiring in colors are retiring. They only stay around for 2 years each. So we know that the 2019 to 21 colors are retiring. They are Rococo Rose, Terracotta Tile, Pretty Peacock, Seaside Spray, and Purple Posy. Actually, I love all of these colors. I don't use Terracotta Tile that much, but I use the rest a lot. I love them. They're going away. They might come back in later years when we do a refresh, but for now, they're not coming back. So get your ink refills. Get your cardstock. If you never got the ink pads or the Stampin' Blends, the ones that have Stampin' Blends, which are all of them do except Terracotta Tile, you need to get those products now, because when our list comes out on March 26th, all of those become everything I just said becomes while supplies last, and historically they could sell out on day 1. Now, lately, I think everybody is hip to that, and they use, they order before the list comes out, which is what you should do. That way you're not dealing with this whole while supplies last craze. And don't forget, anything that you see with those colors, a ribbon, an accessory, a designer paper, it's going to retire. So that we know for sure. Historically, in general, all the designer papers retire. So stock up on your favorites now. And historically, a lot of ribbons and accessories retire, but we don't know which ones until we see the list. Same for usually paper, what are these called? Memories and More kits retire normally. So be aware. That stuff's going to go away. It's recommended to shop early. And then, of course, as it gets closer to March 26th, I will be ready to update you and give you that list on the first day. I'm probably also going to do a video where I walk through the catalog and show you, don't forget this is retiring and so on. But I don't want anyone to be caught off guard by that and be like, oh, I loved Pretty Peacock. That was my favorite color. And, and, it's gone. Janet, we definitely have snow. I think, I could be wrong, but I believe the entire state of Texas has snow. At least a lot, high percent of it has snow. And then it's just freezing, so the snow's not going anywhere. I was thinking today, like, I'm sure after a few years, because this is unusual for us, it will be fine if it snows. But right now, I am over it, not interested in seeing that white stuff on the ground at all. But we're done, like it's not snowing anymore. That's over. And we're going to get warm temperatures in a couple of days. But we definitely have snow here. It's pretty tall out there on the ground. We haven't measured it like at my house. Yeah, Rhonda says lots of snow and very little electricity. And now more and more people are having very little water. It's terrible. Or they have to boil their water before they can use it. Ugh, it's crazy. Hey, Teresa. Good morning. No problem being late. She always says, hi, hot tamale. Love it. Hey, Janet in North Carolina. Liz said, sad to see Rococo Rose go. I totally agree. And Charlotte and Pretty Peacock. Yes. And Purple Posy is awesome as well. Love it. That was just the one that had the bad ink pad, but I still use the color, like the paper and everything else. So yeah, they're all going away. So don't forget about that. Of course, you know about Celebration. Spend $50 or $100 and you get a free gift. No limit. But that ends February 28th. So if you like the papers, if you like any of it, now's the time to get it. Yes, Janet, agree. I hope it's gone very soon. Although our roads now are not as bad. There was a terrible accident the first day we got the ice. Like it was 130 something cars in a pileup and fatalities. But since then, the roads haven't been as bad. The main roads, but the side roads, like getting out of your neighborhood is treacherous. So, good. Oh, Teresa's watching bunnies play in the snow. That is good card inspiration. Okay, so, and also with Celebration, what will be ending is the starter kit special. So 5 packs of designer paper free. This is all 5 of them opened up. Every color family except that retiring one we're all talking about. So that one's not included because it won't be in the new catalog, and these papers are from the new catalog. And I know, I agree with you guys about missing the new colors. I hope the new ones are really good, right? Which by the way, so you should get the starter kit. Not you, Janet, but you, anybody, including Janet, but yeah, I wasn't singling her out. Because we get to see the catalog on March 26th online. So that's a good reason to be a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. We get to view it online March 26th, and then we get to order from it in April. So anyway, let me show you these papers real quick. They will be in the new catalog. My lighting's terrible. My angles are terrible. Whoop, I've used some, so my scraps are falling out. Didn't think about that. Anyway, so that it would be free. You would pay $99 plus tax only, and you would select $125 in any merchandise you want. These are some samples using that paper. And the starter kit special, let me think what else. 99, pick 125. You get a past paper pumpkin for free, and you get all the paper. So it's like $243 worth of stuff with tax and shipping for only $99 plus tax, free shipping. There's truly no obligation. You can get a discount on your supplies after you get the kit if you choose. You can make some money if you like. You can, you know, people do this part-time, medium time, and full-time. And some people, like I said, don't do anything. But there is training available through my business. They're saying a baby, a true pink, and a baby pink. True baby pink. We'll see. I don't think I've seen those colors yet that I remember. Sorry, I got my brain, like I went on to the color thing and I forgot what I was saying. There is team training available to anyone who wants it. We can earn incentive trips, we can earn bonuses, all while doing this, like making cards. So awesome. Oh my gosh. North Carolina, I think I did see that on TV, but I didn't fully listen, but I thought, what kind of tornado happens in a winter storm? That's crazy. But Janet says in North Carolina, tornadoes, 3 were killed and 10 were injured. And now you're getting ice. Yeah, it's a crazy time right now. But if you get the starter kit, there's truly no obligation. Many people watching this video have bought the starter kit from me before, and they're not still currently active, and that's fine. But there are just a ton of benefits, so let me know if you want any info. I have a video that I made all about the starter kit, and if you are watching replay, you can put that over my face. You can scan this code with a camera, like your smartphone camera, and you can watch that video and where I answer some questions about, you know, what's required and what's included and all that stuff. Or just contact me and I can help you. Okay, March's paper pumpkin, this is the last thing I think, and then we'll get stamping, is going to be, so let me read what I've typed. First of all, I copied and pasted. It is going to make 8 cards, 4 designs, 2 of each design. I mean 4, no, I think I said that wrong. 4 each of 2 designs, sorry, for paper pumpkins. So this is Stampin' Up's, I'm going to make some space for myself here, monthly craft kit in the mail. So it comes in a box, you get a stamp set, you get an ink pad, and then you get whatever else you need. This month there is some bonus gifts. This is not it, because, well, in March there's some bonus gifts, and none of us have Marches yet. But you get a stamp set, you get an ink spot, and then you get whatever else you need, including adhesive, to make whatever the projects are. So in March, you have to sign up by March 10th, and it is called Here's to You, and it has the stamp set's called Here's to You. It has a sentiment for every celebration. Commemorate every milestone at any season of life with this versatile stamp set. 3 cheers for mountain air, a sky filled with sunshine. Let me put this up while I'm talking. And finding joy in life's journey. Adventure awaits out inside this month's majestic mountain themed kit. So there are 4 free stencils and a stamping sponge in your kit, plus a stamp set, plus an ink pad, plus whatever you need to make the cards. But that's a sneak peek. That's way more of a sneak peek than they normally give us to these kits. So how you get it is it's $22. I agree, Cindy, that was a cute set. $22. And you can either go to my link and subscribe, so you'll get it every month until you cancel or put it on hold. And that's the least expensive way, well, to get it a single, because it's $22 plus tax only. Shipping is included. But you can also go to my website and get, you got your paper pumpkin already? Oh, the one I just showed you, the Valentine one? That was late, huh, Carol? So, what am I trying to say? You can go to the website and prepay for 1 month, 3 months, 6 months, 12 months. And there is a small discount when you do the larger amount of months. So again, just let me know if you have questions. So odd that they're now showing so much more rather than hints. Yeah, Deb, they kind of go back and forth. It's like, I don't know. They just kind of go back and forth between showing a much bigger hint and showing a smaller hint. Probably, I mean, I don't know. They probably plan it out much farther ahead of that, but I was going to say, like, if they need sales, they're like, let's show a little bit more of a sneak peek here. Could be. Oh, you got them. That's strange that you got that mountain one, Carol, because we can't even subscribe. I mean, the deadline is March 10th. So, interesting that you got that. Anyway, cool. Good for you. I'm like reading, and I'm like, oh, wait, that's not Carol talking. That's Sharon. Thank you, Sharon. I am good and still have lots of friends without power, though. I know one, her power grid, I mean, the transformer or whatever it's called by her house blew. They like heard it happen, and that has to be repaired. Another, she just doesn't know what the deal is. So they are staying warm with fireplaces, though, at least. But having no power is terrible. Okay, so any questions on Paper Pumpkin or anything else I talked about, let me know. When I post the pictures for these cards that I'm going to make today on my blog, I will put measurements there in the blog post and also a supply list. So don't forget, as you guys come on, you can say hi. I'm going to point the camera down now. And I was reading your comment, Carol. You can say hi, and that, or any comment you want, really, and that will get you entered to win the cards I'm going to make today. We are going to use Darling Donkeys, a celebration stamp set, and then in addition, I'm actually using a bunch of stamps today, but in addition, I'm going to use the Flower and Field designer paper. Both of these are free with a $50 purchase through February 28th, and then that's it. They'll be gone forever. And of course, there's a bunch of other gifts to select from as well, but these are the two from that I'm using today. But like I said, I mixed and matched with a bunch of different stamps. Okay. And even though seconds before I went live, I adjusted this, it's wrong. So try to fix that a little bit there. And then that also, for me, it shows me where to put my stuff and stamp for you guys. Yeah, right there. Okay. So this first card, we're going to add in some zany zebras with our Darling Donkeys. And this is a pretty simple card. My card base is Flirty Flamingo, so it's just an 8.5 by 11 piece of cardstock cut in half. So you get 2 cards out of 1 piece of paper, and then they fit into our invitation or what's that one called? Medium size envelopes. Our medium envelopes are invitation size. So it's economical, 2 cards out of 1 sheet of paper, and the measuring is so easy. Just cut it in half either direction, and then when you fold it, it'll be fine. Now, I did pre-score this with my paper trimmer, so I just put it up to 4 1/4, which is half of this way, and scored it, and then down to 2 1/8, which is half of the front. So 4 1/4, 2 1/8. This is the type of card I make all the time. I mean, you guys have seen me make them before, called a, what are these called? Z-fold. But because this is colored cardstock instead of white, I didn't just fold it in half with the bone folder and then fold it backwards. Colored cardstock sometimes can be a little more, the fibers don't break down as easy. So fold it in half, and then with white you can just fold it backwards and use your bone folder, but again, I pre-scored it. Hopefully that's all making sense. And that is a Z fold, so because it looks kind of like the letter Z, but it's what I call the easiest fun fold card there is. And quit moving. And then I have a piece of Whisper or Basic White 4 by 5 1/4 to go inside the card. Then I have a piece of the Flower and Field Designer Series paper to go on the front. It's 1 7/8 by 5 1/4. So this is 2 1/8. If you take off 1/4 of an inch, that's 1 7/8. And then I'm also going to use a Basic White and Basic Black, or 2 pieces that are die cut already. And I didn't bring the set of dies over here because they are being used in all the class prep we're doing right now. But this is the Stitch So Sweet, what are they called? Oh my gosh, Stitched, why am I blanking? Okay, I'm totally blanking. It'll come to me. But there's circles, ovals, and squares, and they all have stitching, and there's different sizes, and they nest together. I'm blanking out on the name. This is the Layering Ovals dies, and they have scallop ovals and solid ovals that all nest in each other. So, but these two can be combined, stitched shapes. I knew it would come to me. And you can combine the stitched shapes with the layering ovals, layering circles, and layering squares and make these cool backgrounds, but you get the stitching. So all 4 of those are awesome dies to have on hand. Yeah, Carol, I knew somebody would think of it quick because they're so common, so thank you, Carol. Okay, and then I'm going to use the glittered organdy ribbon that is Basic Black. All right, so for our stamping, first we'll do our donkey. I'm going to use Flirty Flamingo and Memento Black ink on this card. There's going to be lots of Stampin' Blends today, but I have pre-colored everything, so I will demonstrate it some, but to save you guys time, I won't color every single image. But the donkeys in general do need coloring. So Memento Black is a water-based ink, so you can use it because it's water-based. It will work with our Stampin' Blends, which are alcohol-based markers. And okay, so there's that one. I'm trying to think what else. So the greeting goes on here as well. And just a little tip, you can see where I re-inked that ink pad right there, because all I'm stamping is this greeting, kick up your heels, which I want to say kick up your heels, like your, because to me that's the way you would say this sentence, kick up your heels. Anyway, I knew I was only using this, and so why would I waste my ink and ink up the entire pad when I don't know when I'm going to use this pad again? So I do that all the time. So I'll ink this up right here and try to stamp this straight on my oval in Flirty Flamingo. There we go. And then I need a piece of scratch paper. Here we go. On this piece of white for the inside, we're going to have the 2 little guys that are kicking up their heels on the inside of this card. So, and Memento Black is a different type of, the actual, what it's made out of is different than our regular ink pads. The foam, it's not foam. So you can press a lot harder. So I'm gonna stamp these along the edge here, hanging off the edge a little bit. That's why I needed scratch paper. And when I did this at first, well, a lot of times we are used to stamping off the edges with our images, and I stamped all the faces off the edges, and I was like, okay, that's too much. I went too extreme. We want the faces to show. So then I had to redo it. And then this one will turn up this direction. All right. And then for the coloring, we're just going to color in the donkeys. So on this card, I used gray, or smoky slate, which is a gray. And so I'll go ahead, oh, and I also used petal pink, light. I'm going to go ahead and color this donkey in full, and then on the other ones I might just give some tips on the coloring that I did. Like I might color a little bit. But Stampin' Blends, if you don't know about alcohol markers, they are the best markers ever because they're so smooth. You can, so I'm using petal pink on the nose, like the nose and mouth, I guess you call this, and the inside of the ear. You can keep coloring forever and ever. They'll never get too streaky. They'll never break down your paper. They will bleed through to the other side, but that's fine. And then there's a light and dark, and you can do shading and shadowing. So for these donkeys, and I'm using the fine point because these are smaller images, I'm just kind of adding some shading in a couple of spots, and then like making the little hair sticking up on the head darker, the mane, on the little bottom there, the end of the tail I'm making darker, and the hooves. But you can add shadows wherever you think they belong, especially if you're more artistic than me. You'll probably do a lot better. I think I'll go ahead and trace the eye as well. I'm gonna grab my reading glasses. And then you just go over it with light. So I'll use the larger tip on this. I used the wrong one. Sorry, I'm gonna have to demonstrate it on this one because I did light first. It would actually look fine if I colored it. There just would be, it would be all dark if I finished that one. But whatever, I wasn't paying attention. This is the dark one. Let's blame it on the fact that I didn't have my readers on. I should have noticed that that wasn't that dark, but you know, when you're doing a video, it's, your brain doesn't work as well sometimes. So I recolored everything I just said. Now with the light, I'm gonna use the bigger brush for this larger section, but then I will switch over to the small one because this is a small area, and for me, like you, some of you may have better skills than me. But the cool thing about these markers is, again, it just all ends up blending together. You go over the dark, just pretend it's not there and color over it. And if you need to color over it longer so that it blends better and doesn't look like a dark smudge, I don't know what the word is that I want to use, smudge or smear or whatever, you just keep coloring over it, and that is the blending part, that it just eventually fades into the dark smoothly instead of a harsh line. So again, any harsh lines, just color until they disappear. And then as it dries, it also just kind of, you know, looks better, but you can just keep smoothing it out. You can also go back and add more dark. And if you watch my video from last week, you can see that you can mix different Stampin' Blend colors together. You don't have to stick with smoky slate, for example. So see how I added that dark right there, but that looks harsh. So you just come back in with the light and blend it out. So, Stampin' Blends. Now let's bring in the pre-colored ones. And there we go. So then this card, pretty simple to put together. We're going to add, oh, I'm glad you like the colors, Cindy. Is the basic white a brighter? Yes, it is, Teresa. Basic white, if you put it next to our beautiful Whisper White, which I've always thought was the whitest white you could get. Now, Whisper White looks a little yellow. So basic white is a brighter white than Whisper White was. So I attached that designer paper on the front left flap, and then this piece with the donkey and zebras is going to go on the inside. Just the normal border there. And then the oval donkey is going to go on the black die cut scallop oval. And then this piece, this oval, as I'm sure you know, is going to be half on the front flap and half loose because you don't want to glue your card shut. So what I like to do is place it where I'm going to want it, and then flip it upside down, but top to bottom, not left to right. And then I can see where to place my dimensionals. Not that you can't figure out half and half, but just in case, it helps me a little bit. So I'm gonna use mini Stampin' Dimensionals. I'm using the black ones. I'll place 3 down the left side middle section, and then 2 all the way over to the left. And then of course when you peel off the backing, you can see that they are black. Because this paper's black, they'll be hidden a little bit better. And then place that on the card, on the front, half and half. And then just add a little bow with this black glittered organdy ribbon. I'm gonna do a bunny ear bow. So I'm gonna make 2 bunny ears. I like to leave it on the roll if I can. Unroll, please. You need lots of space between the bunny ears. If your fingers are really tight together and there's no space here, it's hard to work with. Of course, you need a tail on the left, and on the right is where it's attached to the roll. And all your fingers should be pointing at you, and the ribbon should be flat. It never should have twisted and turned when you made this arrangement. Now take your right hand, go over the left, and it'll make like a ribbon shape, and then continue on and push that right loop that you moved over through the bunny hole. And then just tie your bow. It'll look terrible. And you adjust it. This is that ribbon that sheds glitter everywhere, but it's totally worth it because it's so pretty. And then I will trim it off so there's 0 waste on that one side. Let me get this glitter a little bit out of my way. Even up the tails, and then I can attach that with a mini glue dot. All right. Hello, Lena. She says late, never a problem. Watch late, watch replay. Oh, my phone just rang, so I probably paused there for a second. There is the card. Kick up your heels. Lots of animals kicking up their heels. I hope you guys like that. I thought it was cute. Let's see. Thank you, Debbie. The adhesive works so good for you. Any recommendations? Carol, lots of recommendations on the adhesive. Thank you guys for saying cute. I'm gonna show you this one close up because it's a better bow. So I'll put this one for the prize that you can win for commenting today, which even if you're watching replay, you can do that. On our adhesive, it just has a learning curve. So as I do the next card, let me remember to give the tips. I should have a sticky note here. I'm gonna grab my pieces. Anyway, yeah, I'll give the tips as I'm using it because I won't be able to think properly right now. So this second card, our card base is just jade, 5.5 by 8.5. Then we have some of that gorgeous flower and field designer paper, 4 by 5 1/4. By the way, all the cards today, I used the colors from this paper as my inspiration. So that's what I did. So all the colors came from this paper, and I ended up using the paper on all of them, but at first it wasn't working out that way. But anyway, then I have a piece of basic white that is 3 1/2 by 4 3/4. And then I have a scrap of basic white. I'm also going to use the Just Jade in color ribbon, which sometimes these products retire and sometimes they don't, even though that these in colors are not retiring. So that's like a maybe warning label. And I'm also going to use a rhinestone on this card, a regular rhinestone. Okay, I'm using Just Jade and Memento Black ink, as well as 2 additional stamp sets, Textured Essentials and Butterfly Gala. And Butterfly Gala has a matching punch, I think it's called Butterfly Duet, and I'll be using that as well. All right. Basically, I went through the catalog, the annual catalog, and I was like, what animals, well, what stamps would go with donkeys, like greeting-wise and stuff like that, and what animals do we have that kind of are in the same proportion, you know, size-wise. I'm just folding this in half with a bone folder, my Just Jade. And anyway, that's what I did, and that's how I came up with all the stuff I used. So, folded my card base in half. I'm going to set that and the designer paper aside. And then these 2 pieces I'm going to stamp on. From Textured Essentials, I'm using this image here as a background. So it's, I don't even know what you call that kind of image. I don't know, but it's like a background. So I'm going to stamp it in actually I'm going to stamp my greeting first. That will be in Just Jade. And then the greeting is from the Butterfly Gala, and it says, "Thank you so very much." I want to stamp that first on the bottom of the larger white piece that's not the scrap, because that'll tell me where to put that other image. So I think if I were taller, I could stamp better on Facebook Lives, because I just like really raised up on my feet and was able to be right on top of the camera. So greeting at the bottom in Memento Black, and then for that background image, Just Jade. And it's sort of a rectangle, so I'm doing it like where it's portrait instead of landscape. And just right in the center of the space above the greeting. It's a red rubber stamp, so just FYI, it's red rubber. There we go. Now, on my scrap, I need the donkey, or a donkey. I'm using the guy that's sitting down, which I saw on Pinterest, a sample with this one sliding down a snowy hill. And actually, they had made that card at Christmas, but it'd be perfect right now. So, like, yeah, you just place them sideways, basically, on a snowy hill. So I have the donkey, which I'm going to hand cut out. And then I also want just a small butterfly. So I'm going to stamp that. And I need it near the edge so that I'll be able to slide my punch up there and punch it out. So I'm stamping it just because of the size of this paper above the donkey there in Memento Black. And then I'm going to color these in. So for the butterfly, I'm not doing any blending. I'm just using light daffodil, light jade, and dark flirty flamingo. So I can do that real quick. This is a small butterfly, so I'm using the fine point. And there's sort of like 3 sort of sections on this butterfly that I chose. There's actually a lot of different designs of butterflies here. This is the most realistic, in my opinion. The rest are more artistic. So I chose the more realistic because of the donkey being semi-realistic. But they all fit that punch. So I colored those first large sections in Daffodil. Then I'm doing Just Jade on the next smaller section. And then there's tiny little dots of a last section that I'll do Flirty Flamingo. Which is funny, it kind of barely shows, but if you leave it white, the fact that it's white definitely shows. So that's kind of funny. But I wanted to tie it into the colors in that designer paper. And then I'll punch that out. For the donkey is colored just like the other donkey with Smoky Slate, light and dark, and petal pink. It's just a different shape. Like there's more insides of the ears and more to add shadow on the bottom and stuff. But to save you guys time, I did pre-color him, since you've already seen me color basically the exact same thing. And then the butterfly I will just punch out. So open up my punch, slide it in. I'm right-handed, so I hold the punch with my right hand, and I squeeze just a little bit for positioning to make sure it's actually where I want it and it's not shifting, but then I move my second hand and actually do the squeezing. But as I do that, I'm going to flip it upside down to let all the scrap pieces fall to the table instead of fly up at me. Okay. Okay, I think I'm ready to assemble. So for this one, we're going to attach the designer paper. Okay, so tips on Stampin Seal. The biggest tip I have learned, number one, is to hold it straight up and down, which is hard to show on a video. But like if this was the flat table, it's like that, not like this. So hold it straight up and down. You work quickly with it, so when you're applying it, you can apply it slow, but then pick it up immediately. So don't, if you did it like that in that actual speed, when you pick it up, a lot of the tape keeps sticking to your paper and it pulls it off of this plastic right here. And then this plastic has nothing, it's slick. So when you try to roll it, it's slick and it does not turn. There's nothing to grab. So let me just demonstrate that. Of course, when you try to demonstrate it, it looks awkward, but and see, I kind of messed it up there. I'm picking it up quickly. When you try to demonstrate it, it totally messes up. Okay, so that's first of all. Second of all, if you are having trouble advancing it, you can use your hand to pull from the bottom up until you feel sticky on your finger, which is what I just did. But another tip is if it won't advance, is place it on a previous strip of adhesive you just used, and it grabs on from there. It sticks to the plastic and pulls it forward, advances it. Now, the other thing that can be a huge factor is the buildup of adhesive, which they all get them no matter how careful you are, in the holder. Can you see it? It looks gross. So that can build up to a point where every time you roll it, the tape runner is touching that buildup and not allowing it to advance, or it's just, if it makes sense, the tape the sticky part is sticking to that buildup before it even gets to this area of your adhesive. So I hope all of those make sense and help. Comment if you are having another issue that I might be able to figure out with our tape runner. I'm trying to think what else tips I've given people. But I will, like, I tell my customers if something is not working for me, I use my mini white dimensionals on this piece, that the one that says thank you very much. Even if Stampin' Up! Carries it, this is my business and all, but I tell you, I wouldn't recommend that. It doesn't work for me. I have had, I believe, 2 out of probably by now hundreds that I've gone through that did mess up on me, and I had to report it to Stampin' Up! And they replaced it. And they will replace them when they're defective. But 2 out of hundreds. So for me, I'm not finding that that it's a bad product. But for sure there's a learning curve, and for sure if you're doing some things wrong, it's gonna not work well for you. Okay, so for this piece of white that I have stamped on, I'm putting it on at an angle. And I think I did that last week too, but this was I feel like it makes more of the designer paper show. So that's why I did that. And then I'm just going to add my donkey and butterfly with Stampin' Dimensionals. But first I must locate them. Good. So again, I'll use mini Stampin' Dimensionals. Butterfly definitely just needs 1, and I'll do about 3 on the donkey. Donkey first. And I saw someone's comment that this looks like a screen door. That's a good description because I do have some crafters who are blind. Yes, it's like if you put down a screen and drug paint over it, but it's like a section of it, so it's uneven. It's not a shape that's really describable, but that's a great description. It's like a screen door. So I'm just placing the donkey kind of towards the bottom middle of that screen door image, and then the butterfly up to its top left on dimensionals. And then I'll add a small rhinestone on like the head of the butterfly. And there is a stamp in this stamp set that makes the body, by the way. I don't know if you can see it here, but there's white above and below the middle section of the butterfly. There is a stamp where you can fill that in. But since I was going to put a rhinestone at the top, I didn't mess with that. I just used my Take Your Pick tool for that, for the rhinestone. And then with my Just Jade ribbon, I'm going to tie a bow, and I want a little bitty bow, which the easiest way to make a little bow is to make a big one and then keep pulling the tails until it's small. But you can also start out with smaller loops if your fingers allow it. But if not, just make a big one. Because even that, you see how this right loop is much larger than the left. And you just hold the center and keep pulling until it's a nice, cute little bow. You have a little more waste that way, but it's worth it. So a little bow. And I was like, I want a bow on this card, and I couldn't figure out where to put it. And then I was like, oh, just put it on the little tail. Super cute to me. So mini glue dot. See how everybody's doing here. Thank you, Jackie. I hope those tips help. And I forgot who asked that now, but definitely keep me updated about if those tips helped you on the Stampin Seal. I'm just reading comments real quick. Let me turn this right side up while I do that. And grunge. Yes, Cindy, it's definitely a grungy look on this background stamp, which someone asked what stamp set, and I don't know which one they're asking, so Textured Essentials is the one with the screen door grunge image. Perfect description, ladies. Thank you. And Butterfly Gala is the butterfly and the greeting. Thank you so much, so very much. So Textured Essentials and Butterfly Gala. And Linda, honestly, I don't think it's that difficult to use, but the reason they changed is because in different climates, snail didn't stick very well. And where I live is one of those climates. It's humid in the summer. Not today. It's humid and basically hot and humid. And so snail adhesive wasn't very strong. So this is a much stronger adhesive. Like, we hardly have to use any. That's why when I was even demonstrating that, I was just doing here, 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 and a little bit there. I probably put more just because of the demonstration than I normally would. So it's very strong. It also actually comes with more on the roll than our old one. But yeah, so I think they were just trying to get a stronger adhesive. And like I said, I mean, for me, I know that's not everybody, but I haven't had a lot of trouble with it. But I did have to learn all that. Oh, cheesecloth, Dana says. Yes, that's a great description as well for that background, cheesecloth. And Linda and Sherry are both excited to receive their donkey set, so I assume it's on the way. Awesome, ladies. Yeah, it's very fun to play with. But you can only get it till February 28th, so anyone who doesn't have it on the way. Okay, this is the last card. This is my favorite one, but we'll see what y'all think. For this one, I have, throw it down because there's a bunch of stuff in my hands. I have a basic white card base. My favorite piece of that designer paper from Flower and Field, the one with all the different flower types on it and all the colors. It's got, I don't know what all flowers are, but like daisies, little bitty flowers, rose looking flowers, all different kinds and colors against a black background. So pretty. And I have a scrap of basic white. I have a piece of crumb cake that's about 3.5 inches. That's a scrap also. I have a piece of 2 inches by 4 inch Flirty Flamingo that I have pre-embossed with the Pinewood Planks embossing folder. And then another scrap of Flirty Flamingo. Okay, so let me get this card base out of the way. So I'm just going to fold it in half on the table because I like to rest the edges against my thumbnail and align the 2 corners first, but then do as much folding as possible with the bone folder. And that's my card base. I'm going to set that and the designer paper aside. And then just to show you real quick, that Pinewood Planks embossing folder, mine is really old and curved, but it still works. It has never not worked for me. And you use that through our die cutting machine, Stampin' Cut and Emboss. It also works with the Big Shot, probably other machines too. But I pre-did that, but I am going to die cut something on this card, so you'll see die cutting. I'm going to use crumb cake, ink, and of course black. And then for this one, I am using Way to Goat. This is the goat stamp set with 3 cute different goats there. I'm using Palette Thoughts. This is a stamp that actually has 4 different greetings. Hello, handsome, happy birthday, thanks for everything you do, and it's a good day. It's got like a solid banner image that you can stamp some of the words on top of, an arrow, some kind of image here with little tick marks on it. I'm not sure what that's for. And then another image, which honestly I just now noticed today, right now. It's like the top of 2 screws. So that's, and then this big image of a wood plank background. And that's the one I'm using today. But those nail or screws could go on the planks. I'm gonna measure it just so you can know how big it is. It's about 2 1/4, this wood image, by 4 3/4. So it's not a full big background stamp, but it is pretty large. So I'll show you how I use it. Oh, and then one more. Where is it? For my greeting, I chose Beautiful Friendship because it said, or it had a greeting that says, I love our beautiful friendship. And I was looking for a friend or friendship greeting. So I went to my website, mystampinstuff.com, and I selected current only, and then I searched friend. And the very first one I found had the perfect greeting. I can't remember, I should have written it down. And then I was like, oh, I don't own that stamp set. It was so perfect. So I went down the line and I found this one. I love our beautiful friendship. And it matches this card really well too. But the other one was really good. Okay, so let me grab my stamps. I've got to pull the donkey and zebra off from the first clear blocks so I can mount the next two. So I'm using the donkey that has the flower in his mouth. It's like a tulip, I believe. And the goat that has a daisy in his or her mouth. I don't know if they're male or female. And the greeting I told you about already. And then that big palette stamp. Okay. So what to do first? Showed you that. Let me stamp my animals first in Memento Black. So the goat and the donkey. Just on this scrap of basic white. And I'm not making you sit through hand cutting today, but if you want hand cutting tips, ask me and I can just figure out which video I've shown that on recently, because I do show it all the time. These are going to get colored in with the blends. Now this donkey is going to be brown, so I'm using Crumb Cake light and dark. And then I'm also using Smoky Slate though on the goat. And then all these other colors. So Flirty Flamingo light and dark. Oh, I'm not using the yellow. Petal Pink for the goat, for the donkey, I'm sorry. And no, just the donkey. And Just Jade for the leaves on this flower. So I'm gonna just do some of this. I dropped an open marker, so I drew on my paper there. I didn't do blending because this stem that the donkey is holding and leaf are very tiny. But I did add some dark on the edge of this. I don't know if that is a tulip. Maybe it's a rose. I think it's a rose. The edge of the rose. And then filled it in with light. So it's got a little shading there. And then I colored this donkey the same as the other with the pink face with light petal pink for the face. But then the body, let me make sure I have dark. It's just Crumb Cake instead of gray. So hooves will be dark, tails dark, a little shading on the bottom there. You can kind of go around as much as you want. The eyes and the hair. This one has more hair than the other ones. And then just go over the whole thing with light. If you don't know, on your Stampin' Blends, they're labeled basically with a thick line on one end and a thin line on the other, and that tells you which barrel you're opening. But apparently I never look at that. I just open and then I'm shocked when I don't see the one I'm looking for. Anyway, so I did as much as I could with my skills with the larger one, the brush tip. And now I'm filling in with the fine point. But it is the same as what I did with the gray. Just using Crumb Cake instead. I saw no, it was the goats. I was looking at what color people did. Like, this goat kind of has hair on the top of its head. And most people just left it, like, whatever color they colored the goat. There were a couple that did it a dark brown. So then I was like, well, let me just Google goats, like images of actual goats. And I couldn't find any goats that had a puff of hair on the top of their head. So I don't know if that's a real thing or not. So, but for the goat, all I did on the dark, or with the dark, I just kind of did a couple of these stripes on the horns in dark. And then I used light on the horns, first of all, to fill them in. But then I did what I've just copied a lot of people do on Pinterest. So this is going to be a white goat, but you can use the gray to add like some accents. So I basically just used where Stampin' Up! Kind of had some stamped images and sort of traced them with the fine point of the gray light, sorry, I'm calling it gray, light smoky slate Stampin' Blend. And so somehow that makes it look like a white goat. Artistically, right? Oh, and then the little beard I made gray. I did see a lot of them were multicolored and all kinds of things on goats in real life. But the beard was a different color than the rest of their coat. Oh, and I did do oh, it's the same one. Sorry. I did make some little hooves. I don't really have them defined on the image there. Stampin' Up! Doesn't, but did some hooves. And then I colored the flower. I believe I used light flirty flamingo, and that was it. I didn't trace the stem because it's very thin. And then I hand cut these both out, and I will admit that goat was pretty challenging. This neck area, like, you don't have to go that detailed when you cut stuff out, but I did. And so yeah, anyway, it was a little challenging, but I did it. So so I was looking at the comments. Someone said mono glue doesn't come apart, and definitely that's the liquid adhesive we carry. I think we just call it liquid adhesive in the catalog, something like that. But so if you like liquid adhesive, a lot of people love that one. I just don't like liquid adhesive, and it doesn't like me as well. So it's mutual. That's why I don't use it. Okay, so I'm going to stamp the palette image on this crumb cake. And it's just a scrap, but I'm using the Hippo and Friends dies. These are awesome dies. There's all these different shapes and sizes of label images. So I'm using the largest one that's the most square. It's not a square, but I mean, hopefully that makes sense. It's like a square, but not a square. So I just made the scrap paper a little bigger than that. So I'm going to stamp the palette image on there first in case I mess up. The palette image is red rubber. So aligning it could be tricky. Now you could use your Stamparatus, of course, but I actually just thought about that just now. I am inking the stamp up while it's upside down on the table just because it's large and it's easier that way. You don't have to though. So I'm going to stamp it at the top and off the edge, maybe a tiny bit. Looks like it might be a little crooked. It's fine. And then for the second one, for me, it's just a matter of eyeballing it and getting my face as much on top as I can. And I know, like, if I aligned the very top of what I can see on top of the clear block, there'll be a gap. So I sort of align that and then go up a little bit. And I'm okay with it overlapping a little bit there in the middle. Like that. Perfect. So that's how I do it. But again, I'm not, like, I got over things have to be perfect a long time ago. Due to, I can't be, like, it's impossible for me now. Okay, so I'm going to die cut this out. I'll use my mini, because I think it'll work. Let me check. Yeah, it's going to work. I just need to trim my paper down a tiny bit. You obviously just need to use a die that will fit into the mini machine, which is 3.5 inches wide. If you go any bigger, it's not going to work, or you're going to mess your die up. But I'm just setting the die on top of the paper. This is our mini Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine, but we do have a big one that fits everything we carry, and both work the exact same way. And cracking sounds are perfectly fine. And there you go, super cute. My top plate is cracking from so much use. It still works perfectly fine, but probably should order more. They're very not expensive. I just always forget when I'm placing orders. And this die does put little stitch marks on the edges as well, which is cute. And then for my greeting, I'm going to stamp on a scrap of Flirty Flamingo in Memento Black. Where did I put it? And then I'm going to punch it out. This is the Timeless Label Punch I'm going to use. Oof. I re-inked this pad yesterday. It's very juicy. I think it's okay. I think it dried. I think the cold is making my punches harder to open. Because they're not, I'm having to use 2 hands instead of 1 yesterday and today. Okay, so punch that out. And now we're ready to put this card together. So, Stampin' Seal on the Flirty Flamingo that's been embossed with pine wood planks. And more seal on the designer paper. So hopefully you can see there how quickly I'm applying and pulling up, and how I'm trying to hold it straight up, not leaning like this. I think the leaning down, I'm going to put dimensionals on that, or holding it down like this somehow makes it pull more off of the plastic as well. I think that was the theory on that. So now just, I'm going to use several, actually let me attach this first, mini dimensionals to put all this together. Backing came off. So I will attach the label piece that has the palette on it with mini dimensionals to the middle of the card. And then attach both little animals with mini dimensionals. You can see I'm not I'm not someone who uses a ton of dimensionals. I'm just going to cut one of these minis in half for the legs of the donkey. And then I'll peel the backing off of all of them first and then place this down. So coming to the end here, everybody keep staying warm. Hopefully, supposedly our rolling blackouts are out now, and now, I mean, are finished, and supposedly now if you don't have power, it's because something is wrong with the power. Something's actually wrong instead of they turned it off. But hopefully everybody's going to get back to normal very soon. Put that greeting on dimensionals right there at the bottom. And there they are. 2 little friends. I love our beautiful friendship. They brought each other a flower. Of course, you can see on the other sample, when you cut up this paper, you're going to get different sections of the flowers. I think they all look fine. Hey, Joanne. Mary, hey. Some people just joining on. Awesome. Thank you, Linda. Looks like a mountain goat to me, too. And some of them do have a little tuft. So maybe I'll have to Google mountain goat because I just put in goat. And, I couldn't find any. I just wanted to see if the hair was like always a different color or something. Thank you, Karen. Cool way to find a saying. Awesome. Thank you guys very much. If there were questions previous to wherever I scrolled up, I will catch those later. I know last week there was like not a major question, but you know, like there was a question that totally didn't get addressed because I didn't see it during the video. And it was a good one, so I answered it online later. But anyway, that's where I just don't see them during the live thing, whether Facebook isn't showing me or I'm missing it or who knows what. Thank you guys. Thank you, thank you. Thank you, Janet. Thank you, Stacy. Thanks, Cindy. I'm glad, or I hope you guys like them, and if so, I'm glad. That one, I need to bone folder that more, make it stay shut. But yeah, the donkeys are definitely one that you can look around with what other stamps you have and combine with lots of other stuff. I mean, you can do that with all of our stamps. Come back up here. But definitely the donkeys as well. So thank you guys very much. I hope you have a great day. I'm going to get back to cutting a lot more paper than I usually do this week. Due to can't get to Landa, she can't get to me, but she's doing what she can at her house right now too while she has power. So thank you guys very much. Have a great day. Any questions on any of the stuff I talked about, just let me know and I can send you links or answer your questions or help you get that starter kit or whatever it is. Thank you, Janet. You stay safe and warm as well. Cindy has all the creatures. Good. And you probably have even more. So, oh, good, Oma. I'm glad somebody didn't know about the thick line and the thin line on the markers. Yeah. So there's the thick one and there's the thin line. And there's even a picture of, which I never look at, you know, a brush tip and a fine point. But you have to pay attention to that for it to work for you, which I'm always just like, I don't know why I don't stop and look at that. Anyway, have a great day. I will see you guys later, and I appreciate you very much. Bye.